Okay, so you see in the beginning of the field here where the sprayer can't quite hit because we're right up along the grass edge here, and we don't want to kill the grass out.
What kind of sorghum do we have here?
We've got the 30A30DT sorghum from Sorghum Partners here, and this is their early day variety, but obviously you can tell by the size of that head, it don't really matter. But okay, and as soon as you get off the
And what kind of chemicals can I use on this type of sorghum?
You will use all your standard conventional chemicals, plus you can use a new one called First Act herbicide, which is your grass killer herbicide. Takes care of all your foxtails, your crabgrass, cheatgrass, any of these sandburs. There is a limit to how much you can apply per year, but usually you just do one later season application because your pre's can take care of a lot of the earlier season stuff. So
okay, now I'm from north central Iowa, so we don't have a lot of sorghum, but out here we're Presholt, South Dakota.
Yep.
What is the typical between corn and sorghum? Would you treat them the same chemical wise or disease wise?
Yeah, you treat them exactly the same. The only thing you can't put on sorghum basically is Roundup if you're buying the biotech corn. If you're buying conventional corn, you can put the exact same herbicides on here that you do with corn. I mean, exact same. You put all your metulacores on here. You can put your atrazines on here. All your pre's are treated almost the exact same. The only thing you do is you can put this into your corn stubble from last year, and that First Act herbicide will kill out that volunteer corn as well. It's designed for that, and that's where this comes into play really well. You pair that up with Xylem Plus, and you just blew all your corn diseases.
Here
right
we go.
out of the water.
Why? If I'm colorblind, I got to tell you that.
Yep.
But look how green this is.
Green.
If we're gonna go to a neighbor next door, who we know, what's causing this green here? Is it the variety or what?
No, that's because of the Xylem Plus in it. It is clearing up that vascular system inside this sorghum. So you'll crack open these stems here, and you'll see the nose just like you do with corn. We do a lot of videos on how Xylem Plus works on your corn, keeps those nodes open later on in the year. This stuff, you crack it open, it's almost completely white inside yet. That's why you get this plant that's maturing like this, and it's green all the way to the ground yet almost. You got a couple
no
of
one's green here that I've seen, am I correct?
Yeah.
We'll go to a field next door.
Yep.
That represents what's in South Dakota here.
Yep.
In later September.
But don't let this green fool you. This is going to mature down just like if you're combining green corn. This stuff dries out just as good, if not better, because this head's exposed to the elements out here, so that sun dries it out.
So if you took a yield check right now, what would you say because of the Xylem? How much more yield do you think this is going to give you than if you didn't have Xylem at all?
I'm guessing you're going to see this year, on a drought year, you're going to see at least a 10 to 20 bushel increase on sorghum this year.
Okay, that's pretty huge.
That's based on the Sorghum Partners varieties. There's a lot of companies out there, a lot of different varieties. We specialize with the Sorghum Partner styles. I think they have some of the best genetics out there, and the proof's in the pudding here, guys. It's you're seeing that Xylem Plus clean that vascular system up so well. It handles the heat well because it's able to pull moisture out of the ground better, and we're able to see a greener plant longer, which guess what? Gives you a higher test weight. Higher test weight means more dollars at the elevator. So that's a win in my book.
So if you estimated a yield here, what will this field do?
I'm going to say this is going to be 100 plus bushel.
Okay.
And, you know, there's going to be a lot of guys out there that do 60 to 80 this year.
Okay.
But just the sheer head size on it alone, here's my hand next to that sorghum head right there. That is massive. And the best part, the other thing I like to do too is if you take this stem right here, I tell people, you try to take that and you snap that over. That took a ridiculous amount of pressure to snap that stalk off. So if you're worried about storm damage, blowing this stuff over, the amount of pressure I just exerted on that would far greater than any 40 or 50 mile an hour winds that come through to lay that over. Because that whole stalk is alive yet. It's strong, it's thick, and it's healthy. So there's not a lot that's going to tip this thing over.
I just can't believe it. Look how green that is, guys. And what's the date today? September?
Today is September 18th.
September 18th.
And this was planted the 6th of June.
6th of June, that late?
Yeah. Yep, sorghum was planted later out here. It's a shorter plant. It's a shorter day plant.
Okay.
But you can see how it caught all those little rains we had and even the big ones, and it's maturing those heads right on track.
Okay.
And if you pan out there farther in the field, this is right at the end here in the corner, but if you pan out to that edge of the field farther, it's a lot redder.
Yep,
It's a lot
we're right
redder
at the
there.
edge of the field.
Yep.
So you walk in, it's way more red off the edge of the field here.
Yep.
You'll see it here. Okay, you look
Yeah.
right in here, you'll see it. It's way
And
redder.
the other thing I want to point out real quick, you spread these stalks out, there ain't hardly a crack in that ground to be found. I mean, that's
No,
crack.
there isn't. This is
Yep.
way less than your corn ground.
Yeah, exactly.
Why is that?
Because I'm not sure the science behind it, but whenever you plant sorghums, BMR sorghums, and pearl millet, stuff like that, it helps the biology of your ground. I mean, look at this. I can take this spade and push it right in the ground, and it'll stay standing. You can't do that to a cornfield.
No,
right
you
now.
couldn't.
Rock
Now
hard.
we just walked out of no.
The biology is so much healthier when you rotate out to a sorghum-based product. It just, the fibrous root mass is better. It helps that ecology underground break this up. A lot of guys like to plant beans. They help mellow the ground out. Sorghum does the same thing, but you can do it in a way more droughty environment. It's way more drought tolerant. There's a lot of guys that had beans tip over this year or go backwards on you because of the drought. This didn't. It just hangs in there, and every half-inch rain you get, it's like, heck yeah, give me more. It's going to grow up better for you.
Well, let's head to the other fields that don't have
Yeah.
Xylem Plus on and see what they look like, okay?
Sounds good.